Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Nia. I'm one of the battle trainers here in Ferrum. I battle alongside my trusty partner, Weavile. Have you ever seen a Oh, he's just sleeping over there. Don't mind him. You must be the interesting new trainer I heard about who's about to join us. How about right then, first things first. Here in Ferrum, you'll need to work as one with your partner Pokemon and face off in some intent. After you finish your trainer registration, you'll be given something called a... It has a synergy stone built into it that allows you to synergize with your Pokemon in... But hey, we'll get into the details later. You've got a whole bunch of new experiences awaiting you here. I'll give you whatever assistance I can, so just try to have some fun out there. Right then, let's get you ready. This is the Ferrum region, where we are now. Ferrum battles are super popular here. The types of battles differ a bit from city to city. So, to start off, right now we're here in Old Ferrum Town. It's also known as My Town, and here you can check your battle data. Don't worry, whenever we head to a new... Next up is right here, Ferrum Stadium. This is a single-player mode where you battle your way to victory in the... Next up is Teller Town, I suppose. Here you can join in casual matches. When you want to battle against your friends, you should head over to Selen. There, you can battle using the gamepad. And then there's Neo City, where you can... Oh, right, I forgot what... In Techna City, you can learn all sorts of stuff about battles. And... Alrighty then, guess I went on a bit... Feel free to start off where... I think you might be best off heading to Tech... Weavile and I lost the other day. We've got to bust through some special training and get back in there. Here, you can learn about Ferrum battles and practice. In the tutorial, I'll teach you all. In free training, you can use I'd recommend starting off with my... Oh, right, you can use the pause menu during battle to check your Pokemon's move list. Choose your Pokemon! In this course, I'll teach now. Alrighty, I guess we better go ahead and try. You can use the plus control pad to move around the field. You can also jump with the B button. If you press in the same direction twice on the plus control pad, you can step forward and back or side to side. Next up, we'll press this button. Long distance attacks, try to land a... Nice! Next, you'll launch an attack that'll... Go. Now you're getting it. Alrighty then, all battles consist of two states. Field phase, at the start of the battle, And this is dual phase. You can tell which phase you're in by checking here. Now then, how do you go about changing phases? Well, you see, if you land a certain type of attack, you'll shift phases. Let's check out. Alrighty, try to hit your opponent. Okay, now you've changed the... In dual phase, you can dish out some serious damage. But close quarters, here's where the real battle, but you'll need the way you move around. Let's practice. By pressing forward twice on the plus control pad, you can perform a forward dash step. By pressing back twice on the plus control pad, you can perform a backward dash step. You can jump using the B button. In dual phase, the action is highly varied. Alright, that should be good. Land a certain attack on your opponent. You can also just lift. Send them flying. Someone with wits like you, battles will involve shifting. Plus, when you cause a phase shift, and by that, I mean you'll... We'll talk more about... Right, you can block. By blocking, you can all but... Alrighty, just hold down the... Whenever you're in a pinch... Alright. This is your synergy gauge will fill up as once your synergy gauge is... Your Pokémon used its... Your Pokémon will be super-powered while it's wreak havoc with... You can use a burst attack. Try using a burst... Land a hit to deal some huge damage. You definitely...
Tutorial finish.
Which Pokémon are you battling with? In this course, I'll tell you all you need. Press this to perform a long distance. It's great because this is what you'll want to try to land a... Nice! Press the X button while jumping in field phase and... Try to let... There's not much time left. Looks like you didn't quite make it. Alrighty, let's move on. During duel phase, if you land a hit with the Y button, press the Y button rapidly. Land consecutive hits to get a cockpit. Land a... While you're still getting the hang of battles, make sure to a counterattack absorbs an incoming attack. Time it just right, and you'll... You can use counterattacks in both field phase try to counter your... You're not bad! Latch on to your opponent by using grab attacks. On top of that, grab attacks are always super effective against counterattacks. That being said, they're not very effective against normal. Use a grab attack on your opponent. Okay! Counterattacks beat normal attacks. Grab attacks beat counterattacks. And normal attacks beat grab attacks. Basically, this attack triangle is like a fancy game of rock, paper, scissors. Trainers who master this attack triangle will take control of the battle. This thing over here, your support gauge will fill up as time passes. And once your support gauge is full, press the L button and try. It'll come. Okay! During the planning time before each round, you can switch out the support Pokémon. You can choose which support Pokémon. You can select a support Pokémon, or maybe even select a support. Support Pokémon come in 3 different types. Attack type support Pokémon come in handy. Disrupt type support Pokémon sometimes they can even. Enhance type support Pokémon will power up. Pick a support Pokémon that suits your. Sometimes, when you use support Pokémon, these statuses include first things first while you're under the effect of. For instance, Eevee will give you a. The effect depends on the support Pokémon. Next up, get hit with a negative. Take Emolga, for example. Use these statuses. Between rounds, I'll drop in to cheer you on. Depending on whether you win or lose a round, There are cheer skills that are in effect from the first. Be sure to test out any new cheer skills. Sometimes during field phase, you can pick up this power. Power on the field will go ahead and pick up. The tide of the... Now, let me tell you a bit about... Why don't you try this out? Okay! Next, give... All right, and... Nicely done!
Tutorial finished.
Which Pokémon are you battling with? In this course, I'll teach you. During duel phase, press down on the plus while in low stance, press the X button while in low stance. Try to land an attack from low stance. By pressing the Y button in a high stance, you can press the X button to try to use an attack from... There you go! Now you're getting it! You can hold down the button to charge up your counterattack. It'll take some... You'll deal more damage, and you'll also... By charging up... Try to charge... During a counterattack, use the plus control pad and... This is... You can use counterattacks to... Try to cancel... There's not much time left! Nice! Piercing piercing attacks are special moves that cannot be blocked by counter. For example, counterattacks with a fully charged hold become... Your best bet with counterattacks is to take the initiative and get... In field phase, you can also hold the last hit of a homing attack to make it a piercing attack. Your Pokémon won't take any hits while knocked down, and it'll get back up on... But this will give your opponent the chance to move in for an attack, so... Depending on the attack, you may take some damage. This is called block damage, but you'll never be KO'd by block damage. If you keep blocking against an attack, you'll notice that... If you don't release it, you'll eventually get hit with a guard break. When you're hit with a guard break, you'll be left How many attacks you can endure before... Blocking is important. While in Synergy Burst, you won't be stunned from taking a few... So you can move in for the attack without work... Try to hit an opponent using a ranged attack with a homing attack. There you go! Now you're getting it! When your opponent uses their Synergy Burst, you'll want to try to use the X button or grab attack to... You can link up one attack. This is what we... Let's try to land... on one attack at a time. All right, nice work! You don't have to master high-level combos right away. I'm sure you've already noticed that Battle Pokken... On top of that, how quickly the Synergy gauge fills up and... Crazy, right? There are all sorts of different battle stages. Battle Pokémon all have their strengths and weaknesses, and you'll have to be... As you battle, your Pokémon will increase its... As you increase your skill level, you can apply those... As your skills level up, you'll get all... Remember, you can switch out your skill points...
Tutorial finish.
Which Pokémon are you battling with? If you hold the last hit of a homing attack, it will cause your opponent to guard break. When a guard break occurs in field phase, it will cause a phase shift. Use a charged up homing attack and cause a guard break. time left. And time's up. All right, let's head to the next one. During duel phase, there are actions you can use that quickly link. This is also a type of cancel. By using cancels, you will be able to freely link up your actions. And based on the type of Pokémon move, you may also try to cancel this action and land consecutive hits with a Pokémon move. Okay! Your opponent has pinned you down with repeated ranged attacks. In times like these, if your opponent is close enough when you jump, you can strike back during the opening in their ranged attack. If you find timing your jumps right to be too tricky, you can always Ranged attacks can be a real pain, huh? The way they chase after you like that. It's times like these you can use a step technique to negate. Use some well-timed steps to avoid. During duel phase, when your opponent launches a powerful attack, you can use anti-air action. When in a high stance, you can press the Y button. Use the Y button while in a high stance to intercept an There's not much time left. Nice. Keep it up. If you block against an attack that leaves a big opening, if you launch your attack fast enough, the opponent pull it off, and you're guaranteed to block against your opponent's incoming attack and swiftly strike back. Perfect! By knocking your opponent's battle Pokémon into the wall, you'll leap. By effectively using the walls, you can unleash some actions that normally... Try to land some wall comp...
Tutorial finish.
Choose your Pokémon. In close combat, it's important to understand what the situation will be like. For instance, after you land one of your moves, you usually have a small window of which means you can move in for another attack. On the other hand, if your opponent uses a block against you, your best bet in such situations is it might also be a good idea to try to... Also, when your attack misses its mark, you'll be left completely open, so make sure to try to only use attack. If you're pressed up against the wall when a phase shift from dual phase you'll be blasted off the walls, like you'll take some damage when this, but I guess if you think of it as your chance to break away from the wall, and if it gets launched by a powerful attack, your Pokémon will automatically perform a mid-air recovery. After a mid-air recovery, it will be temporarily press forward on the plus control pad when this happens, and you can change the direction of its mid-air While you're falling back down, you can also use the plus control pad to slightly change the direction. When two ranged attacks collide, the stronger of the two may completely negate the other. If both are at about the same level, they will... When you know you can't beat your opponent in a clash of ranged attacks, it's best to just block. You know, you can actually recover some of the damage you take. You can recover this recoverable HP by... You can also recover this recoverable HP by using Synergy Burst. Don't forget that during Synergy Burst, you will grab... Keep in mind that you can also lose recoverable HP. If your opponent causes a phase shift while you're in field phase, if you attack while jumping, such as by pressing the X button while in high stance, you'll be able to launch your attacks while avoiding low ground level attacks. In that same style, anti-air actions will No matter which case, the point is that both, when matched, I'm sure I've already told you how battle stages come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, but the terms that determine how synergy power appears differ between battle arenas too. If you take the time to study the stages themselves,
tutorial finished.